Hello, I'm Sean Hoddy and welcome to another edition of Lockdown Tamiki Aikido Martial Arts. So as we do in a traditional Japanese martial art, we always start with a rei, which is a bow. We start our exercises, so ichi, san, shi, go, rock, sit, chach, i, san, shi, rock, sit, chach, get the hips going. Ichi, san, shi, go, rock, sit, chach, i, san, shi, rock, sit, chach. Legs apart, we stretch. Ichi, san, shi, go, rock, sit, chach, ni, san, shi, go, rock, sit, chach. Circles. Ich, ni, san, shi, go, rock, sit, chach, ni, san, shi, go, rock, sit, chach. So side. Ich, ni, san, shi, go, rock, sit, chach, ni, san, shi, go, rock, sit, chach. Legs we stretch. Ich, ni, san, shi, go, rock, sit, chach, ni, san, shi, go, rock, sit, chach. Knees. Ich, ni, san, shi, go, rock, sit, chach. I, san, shi, go, rock, sit, chach. Waists. Keep the head still. Ich, ni, san, shi, rock, sit, chach. The other way. Ni, san, shi, go, rock, sit, chach. So now we wiggle. Wiggle the thumbs. Little shake. From here, rotate the shoulders backward. And we go forward, and we go backward, and forward. Rotate the arms, and we go forward, rotating the arms, then back. And now we stretch. So we stretch right the way up. Good, and down, and stretch again. And down, and stretch once more. So really push. So from here, right foot in front of left, turn the right foot so you toe in slightly. Left heel facing forward, press down to the floor or the mat if you're on a tatami, and stretch forward. And now we change. So from here, we stretch, and you should feel it pulling or stretching your calf muscles. From here now, hamstrings, so point the toes, and we just stretch. So we do these just to try and keep it a little bit mobile. Obviously, without getting into the dojo or practice hall and practicing Aikido martial arts correctly, we're not really getting the good workout that we'd normally have. So down the centre. The other hand down the centre, so it's touching the spine. And then come across, and these are above the elbow joint, so we just push and stretch. So we're stretching the shoulder joint. From here, nicely balanced, look down, ich to the middle, ni, look up, san, shi, go, rock, sit, hach, turn, ni, san, shi, go, rock, sit, hach, ich, ni, san, shi, go, rock, sit, hach. Okay, that's our system of Aikido. Tamiki Aikido, also known as Shotokan Aikido. We practice what we call Unsuku. So Unsuku, foot movements. So we start shoulder width apart. Nice and comfortable when we go forward. Ich, ni, san, shi, go, rock, sit, hach. Come back to neutral. And from here, we move to the side. So we move, I'll come over here slightly. So we move to the left side first. That's ich, ni, sump, shi, go, rock, sich, hutch. So every move I've done there was replicated on the right side as well as the left. And then from here, we move forward, we're going into each corner. Imagine there's a cross on the floor, we go into each corner of the cross. So from here it's ich, the feet shoulder width apart when we finish, yeet, back, sump, sheet, then we go out to the corner, go, rock, the other corner, sich, hutch. So, if you take up Tamiki Aikido or Shotokan Aikido, you'll practice those virtually every practice. So next thing is called Tandooku Undo. So this is hand and foot movements. And once again, we move with this sliding foot movement called Sugiashi. So first movement, we come from above our head and it's ich, ni, sump, shi, go, rock, sich, hutch, then we repeat, ni, sump, shi, go, rock, sich, hutch. Next movement, ich, ni, sump, shi, palm down, go, rock, palm up, sich, hutch, ni, sump, shi, go, rock, sich, hutch. Next movement, palm out, ich, ni, sump, shi, go, rock, sich, hutch. Repeat, ni, sump, shi, go, rock, sich, hutch. Then we go reverse, ich, ni, sump, shi, go, rock, sich, hutch, ni, sump, shi, go, rock, sich, hutch. Reverse again, ich, ni, sump, shi, go, rock, sich, hutch, ni, sump, shi, go, rock, sich, hutch. And notice when we finish, Tegatana. And this is the position we should be in all the time when we practice Aikido. Not straight, not bent, but around this distance. So it's like a sword. Tegatana means hand sword, so it's the shape of a sword. Then from here we're going to practice to Sugiashi. So from here we're in posture and we just move. And we go back. So we're sliding our feet as we move. And we do this with a partner. And then we can just move around with a partner as well. So we're sliding whatever direction we're going. We're moving as they move you around. And then we change. So we go forward and backward. Forward and backward. And then we can move around the mat with our partner. So whatever way they go, we're with them. Okay, and other exercises we can do. We can build our hip strength, so reverse posture, and we just push, and we push from the hip, from here, and we change, and we're pushing from this hip joint here, so we're not pushing with the shoulders, it all comes from the hips, so we move, hips, 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 and we're dropping our weight slightly, so we're not pushing arm strength, pushing from the bottom half of the body. And we push. And we push. Push, 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 push. And we push. You can feel you're gaining power. Also from that, we can go into normal posture. So like gammy type posture, so we can move and just fit in and get to that position and push that. So from here, push. And we can get further and further away. So we're making big leaps in. And the left side, and push. And again, Tegatama, and we're pushing. So if you can imagine that's someone's chin, we're going to be throwing them over here, push. And we can do this with Gaikagami as well. So, same sort of thing, we're not leaning, we're here, we push. On the other side, we push. Push. So it's exercises to fitting in for techniques. Okay, so in our last videos we've been doing our Kata. We did the first 5 techniques of the Randori Kata. So we very quickly go through our Kata again. So if we remember, the Jo is a 4-foot staff. We also use this as a Yari in our system of Aikido. So a Yari is a spear, so if you imagine there's a blade on the end, and it's used as a spear, where a Jo is a staff, and we'd use that for thrusting, striking, blocking, striking from behind, using both ends of the Jo. And most cultures around the world will have some form of staff fighting. So I'll go with the smaller one. From here, we raise, thrust. And as we thrust, we turn our hands as though we're ringing a tail. So it's ich, then we come through, ni. Then from here, the hand comes up, san, come forward, shi. So this is aiming behind, blocking. Then we come round, go. This is inside of the thigh, and this is aiming for the floor. Rock, sitch, so we repeat the movement again. Hutch, then from here, as we slide up, this now goes behind. Ku, so we're going behind, and I would be kneeling onto my left knee. Then from here, I come forward. What I'm doing, I'm coming up under the chin and I thrust. Then I turn, Ju-ich, Ju-ni, Ju-san, Ju-shi. Then I turn, Ju-go. Then from here I turn over, Ju-rock, Ju-sitch. Now I'm cutting or attacking the temple. Ju-hutch. Then I hip turn and I attack the temple the other side. Ju-ku. Then I step forward. So I step forward, turn, ni-ju. And then from here I come up, ni-ju-ich. Okay, so from our Kata, we're now going to do some other weapons work. So we're going to practice with our bokken, or dokdo. So when we hold a bokken, left hand, if you can see, the handle is just short of my left hand. From here, I grasp with my right hand, and that's near the guard, the tsuba. The kisaki, which is the tip, is there, so it's chudan position. And when we cut, we raise the sword straight up into the air. I've got the ceiling height, but when we finish the cut, we bring the hand out like a towel, so it tightens up. Now, when we practice with the sword, we hold the sword as though we're holding eggs. So it's fairly firm, but not so the eggs break, and not so loose that when you cut, the sword flies out your hands. But what we need is to be able to turn that sword and lock the hands out. There's no point blocking with your wrist there because this is all going to bend. But if we block, and we're locking this arm out and lock this arm out, that'll be solid. So it's not that, it'll be that. Okay, so we're going to do some basic cuts. So the first cut we're going to do is called Ayuchime. And Ayuchime is, we'll both be cutting the same. So Ayuchime, what we're doing here, we'll be moving forward, and from here we cut. And obviously this is shorter than a bokken, but what I'm aiming for is to cut onto their forehead. So from here, so this is called Ayuchime. So from here we're moving forward and we cut. And when we cut, we want the feet, heels slightly raised, feet facing forward, not here, but there. So from here, Ayuchime. So from here, Ayuchime, cut. And from here, we're going to do Hidari men. So Hidari men is that someone's cutting with a straight cut to me, so they'll be cutting with a straight cut. What I do then, I come off line. So from here, I'm coming off line and I cut. And again, they turn and face me, and we go back. And when we're cutting, it's here, not here, because it takes a long while for this to come through. So it comes from above the head. So from here, as we cut above, and we cut. Looking at our opponent, they move round, and we go back. Then the other side becomes Hidari men. And with Hidari men, we would lead with the left leg. So we hold right hand in front, normal grip. But as we move forward for the cut, we come through here. So the left leg comes forward. From here now, I'll change my feet and I'll move. So from here, coming forward and cut. Change my feet and then come round and back. So I'm going to put those three together. So Ayuchime, straight cut. So as we cut, 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 straight cut, straight to their head. Move out. Hidari men. So now we're going to come off line. So from here, cut. From there we move. Go. Miki men, so I change my feet as we cut to there. Step. And then we change. Key thing with these techniques is don't lean, because if you start leaning when you're cutting, you're compromising your own posture. So on these turning ones, solid, back we go, and the other side, nice and solid as well. Back we go. So when we finish with a sword, from here, and down. So I'll show that with the bokken. So we cut, come forward, and go back, drop in, and finish. So from here, moving forward, back, finish. So just to recap now, some of the techniques are very similar. So over the last couple of weeks, we've been doing techniques from the Atemi section of the Randori no Kata. So first movement we did was Shirayati. So Shirayati coming up off line 1, 2, 3. Second movement from here, moving forward. Ayuchime. So if we relate those to the sword cuts, similar to Ayuchime and Ayuchime is similar to Migi-men because we're coming off posture. Then we've done Gaiku Ayuchime, which is reverse facing posture attack. So from here we come through and we through our partner. So again, this is soft, so it just drops down using a little finger to draw them in. And from here we throw. Next move is Geidan Ati. So Geidan Ati is very similar to Gaiku Ayuchime. We start with the Gaiku Ayuchime movement. So we're here, strike, drop our weight, and we throw. So here, strike. This now, as I step to drop my weight, I'm throwing their arm out. It takes them off balance, keeping the tension on. At the same time I drop my weight, I go on the outside of their leg. This aims for their knee, and I'll throw them over my knee basically. The last one in the set, your Shirayati. So your Shirayati is attacking the rear, your Shiro. So from here, using our hips, again the hips are pushing, so they're doing this to the opponent. So pushing, and then from here, we're throwing, moving back with the outside leg. So movement from here, using the hips, and we use this hips to drive, not pushing with the arm, hips to drive, breaking the balance. Straight arms, we don't want the arms bent, there's no power. So hips, and then from here, I transfer this way in posture, and we finish. This is over the shoulders, throwing. So first movement, Shomanati. Second movement, Ayuchime. Third movement, Gaiku Ayuchime.